Welcome home, Raiders. This week we're back from BlizzCon. All my crap is broke, and there's a lot happening in World of Warcraft, so we're just going to plow through this stuff, including patch 6.2.3. Get ready. This is Convert to Raid number 201.
You're listening to Convert to Raid, the podcast for raiders in the World of Warcraft.
The broke-ass Convert to Raid podcast power station in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today is November 17th, 2015, and it is now 9:29, way too late p.m. Central Time. Thanks for joining us from all around World of Warcraft land. As you can see, things are askew around the studio from the video. Hopefully at home, nothing will break for the actual podcast part, for the audio part of the podcast. So, but thank you guys for joining us for all around World of Warcraft, and let's get to the guys. First up from California, of course, we have Dairies. Hello, Dairies.
I'm honestly surprised after our last episode they let us back on the internet.
Yes, the internet said no, you can go away now, and then we said no, we're staying.
We just stubbornly ignored it. Now we're back, and everything's breaking, so it's their way of saying
right. And we also have not one, but we have both of the guys from LOS Gaming. They are now doing the 2-minute topics, right? Is that what you're doing?
Oh snap!
Oh snap!
Yeah, that first one was a little rough.
It is Tattva and Tovo. Hello, guys.
Hello. It looks like the only person that hasn't recovered is Tat. So
from BlizzCon?
Yeah, look at you.
That's because he was up until 3 o'clock in the morning doing the last 2-minute topic.
That's right.
That took how many hours of editing was it?
I don't want to say. Well,
way too long.
I heard the 2-minute topics are actually 3 minutes.
Well, it's 2:58, so it's still 2.
The actual topic itself is.
Why would you lie to your viewers?
Well, because the thing is we have this idea to do this 2-minute. Well, not a 2-minute. It would be a line of sight gaming ready check.
Yeah.
And so any big content patch where there's obviously going to be enough information to go over 2 minutes, then we would do that. And so this kind of had a lot there, but we didn't want to start 2 new series at the same time. So
okay,
series. So we just kept it in the 2-minute topic.
That's cool. That's cool. And you just released the 623 video, which kind of goes over the highlights and some of the things that you're looking forward to, right?
Yep.
Cool. Well, we'll be talking about that in a little bit. First of all, I do want to talk about what you guys have been up to since BlizzCon. Have you guys recovered at all? I mean, other than Tattva, of course.
Hey.
It took many days for me to even unpack from BlizzCon. I put it off so much. I had the BlizzCon flu. I had the LAX flu.
Oh, wow.
I feel like I had everything. So
wow. You got a double dose of flu.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Darius, did you get sick at all? Or?
Oh yeah, I definitely caught the plague from BlizzCon. I'm just now getting over it. Yeah. It was. I really don't think we should have been licking our fans. I think hugs and kissing is okay, but the licking part, I think it was just too much.
That was
the
a
only
mistake.
thing you should do.
And I said that was a mistake, and then the show happened last week. And if you guys heard the show. It was a show. there was a lot of stuff going on with that show, and it was a little
racy.
Sure.
We had fun.
It was that fun, right? We did. It was irresponsible behavior, mixed up with this house party that we were having at the same time with all the asparagus guys, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And it led to questionable activity. That's all I'm saying. And I think that we owe everybody an apology. I think I probably owe the biggest apology just for releasing that into the wild. But yeah, it was a good time. And then, as we were talking about before we tried to record the show, then the Hilton happened after that. and things got even crazier.
We went somewhere else? I don't remember that.
It was a night. It was a night, fellas. Yeah. And Dairies, I have a bone to pick with you. Because all during the show, Dairies was the only guy who was not partaking in anything. He was just, sitting around having fun, and weird things ensued. But during the show, when he was holding the mic, he would rub it with his thumb or something. I don't know what you were doing. It's just all these hand noises.
Not to do that.
All of these hand noises started. All during the show. And so I did as best as I could to cut that stuff out from everybody who was doing that. And it wasn't just Dairies, but Dairies, you were a big part of that. And wow. It's a good thing I had some time to kill in the I got
John really nervous sitting between Tovo and Tattva. Like, they're famous. I didn't know how to act. I didn't know what to do with my hands, so I got really nervous.
Right.
And then Tattva started sitting in my lap, and
I was sitting in everyone's lap.
You were. Yeah. You were the crazy little monkey man. I was
spreading my love everywhere.
You were a crazy little monkey man. It's true. Wow. I don't even know where to go from there. Let's talk about WoW a little bit.
There we go.
How about that? Good topic. So before we get to the raid news, I want to talk about this because WoW is celebrating its 11th birthday.
Well, there we go. You can drink now, right?
Yeah. No. No, that's 21. But yeah, it's got a ways to go for that. But congratulations to everybody over at Blizzard for 11 years of WoW. And how long have you guys been playing?
11 years.
You were in on when it was launched, or
it was just before a baby. That? No, I wasn't in the beta. Okay. I actually probably started about maybe like a month and a half or 2 months after launch. One of my best friends, his older brother, was playing, and then we were playing a lot of Halo at the time, and then all of a sudden we got logged into WoW, and that's that.
You got hooked. That's cool. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Tovo, how long have you been playing?
I started sometime in the middle of Burning Crusade, but I can't reference what raid was out at the time because I didn't know anything about raiding. I just was playing the game.
Sure.
But the first raid I got into was Karazhan. I think at the time Black Temple was out, but I don't think Sunwell was out yet. So around that time. So
okay. And Dairies, you've been around the game forever, right?
Yeah. We recently had someone apply to convert to Mythic, and in their application, they said that they had just graduated high school, but had been playing since beta.
What?
So I was wondering how they were playing when they were 7 years old.
7? Wow, that's crazy.
Some people get confused.
I know one of my good friends, he has his twin daughters. I think they're probably about 7, but he has them doing all of his farming for him, so they go out and mine for him and stuff.
You just do all the garrison work?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Hey, go do my garrison chores, please. And then after that, then you can do chores around the house. How's that? Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's pretty good.
Well, to celebrate the 11 years of WoW, they're doing a big anniversary celebration, and if you log in between now and the end of the month, you can get a special little gift in your mail, in your in-game mail, and in there you'll see celebration wands for Murlocs and for Knoll. Is that right? And then Edwin Van Cleef is the big costume set that has like 50 charges of Edwin Van Cleef. I want to say McCleef for some reason. I don't think that's right though. And of course, inflatable Thunder Fury. Right? So
yeah.
So is anybody like me? I'm really afraid to use these because I have I don't know what you call it, limited charges anxiety. Like I don't want to use up all my toys, so I never use them. They just sit in my bags.
Yeah.
But if you're planning on leveling, which is a really good time too right now because of the new patch and everything. Mm-hmm. You get a token too that increases your experience by 11% for 1 hour. It's on 10-second cooldown, so you'll always have it up. But as soon as the celebration is over, it goes away, and you can't use it anymore. So if you're gonna take advantage of that, you want to do it in these next 2 weeks.
Better than any trinket out there, right?
Yeah.
So might as well use it.
The celebration wands are both bind on account, so you can make a pile level 1s and stockpile them and turn your entire raid into Murlocs over and over and over again if you wanted.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
I know. I'm the worst.
I like it.
You're gonna have room in your void storage now, since transmog's going away. Unless they're doing away with void storage, you could just stockpile that thing. Get rid of all your gear.
I don't think they'd be doing away with void storage anytime soon. People like that, even without all the transmog stuff. Although the transmog stuff is basically what's in there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, so that's going to be going on through the end of the month, so you can go check it out. Go log into game and get your package of goodies, your booty, as they say somewhere.
Your feats of strength.
Yes, because you get the feat of strength of did someone say blank ... right?
So, nobody said it. No one ever says it. It just shows up.
It just shows up. Right. Okay. Well, let's get into some raid news because we have a lot to talk about here.
Calling all raiders from around World of Warcraft land. This is raiding news.
All right, it's time to check out what's happening for news for raiders around the World of Warcrafts. And up first, today, actually, 6.2.3 hits Azeroth. I can talk today. Now my mouth is broken, too. That's great. That's perfect. First it was the computer, now it's the mouth. Great. So Tattva, Tovo, you guys just did a video on 6.2.3. Lead me through this a little bit. Who wants to start? Tovo, why don't you start? Lead me through some of the stuff that's happening with 6.2.3 that started just today.
They made it so you can raid the mythic difficulty cross realm now. So what a lot of people are doing, they're having trouble with their raid team if they broke up, or they have people that are still sticking around that want to continue on with progression. You can now recruit across realm much easier. If you have some friends that want to carry you or whatever through a mythic raid for gold or just because they're nice, you can do that now way easier without spending the money to switch servers and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's going to be going away once Legion comes out. They're going to reduce it back to only on your server. But if you can take advantage of that now to find a team, if you're looking for a new team, or to find people that are looking for a team, it's a really good time to do that with the Cross Realm Mythic.
Absolutely. Tattva, what else is coming down the line here?
That moose mount.
Moose mount!
Like, I mean, no one else even really deserves it besides druids. I'm just saying. Like, all of you guys can get out of Moonglade, leave it alone.
Can't you turn into a moose or something? No. Some kind of deer?
It's like a deer or an elk or something.
Stag.
It's not a moose.
Stag.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, get out of Moonglade. That's our turf. Like, seriously.
Yeah. Get out, seriously. Guys.
You're
no Grove
welcome.
Warden mount for you. That's all there is to it.
But yeah, no, it's actually awesome. I joined... Used the looking for raid tool, joined a pug heroic today, and got my moose already. I know as a guild, we're going to run it on Sundays, I think. And so, like, I don't know, I think we have a good group together to be able to, like, just carry people. I think we're just going to be rotating on Sundays and giving people mounts, so that will be fun.
Right. Well, and it's kind of cool
because jump ahead.
Well, jeez. There was there was a bunch of stuff, and I just kind of threw it in the notes. I'm like, here's stuff. But there were a couple of things. One of which was there was a hashtag on Twitter, hashtag friendship moose, all one word on Twitter. And people were talking about, getting together and running running heroic Archimond to get everybody their mount. And so now it's actually pretty huge, I guess. They have people that are running it on the EU and North American servers for both Horde and Alliance. And I know that the North American Alliance one isn't taking any new signups because their list just can't handle it. Yeah. So, because they're maxed out at like 500 or whatever.
Wow.
And so it's something that's kind of blown up, and Dairies, you kind of mentioned this. So the Convert to Mythic team is doing this moose run as well, for people in the CTR Guild and for guys out there. Why don't you talk about that a little bit and tell people how they can sign up?
Yeah, we're doing on Sunday evenings at 4:30 server, which is 4:30 Pacific. Convert to Mythic with a few other of the raid teams in CTR are going to be doing moose runs. And you can sign up at converttomythic.com/moose, or you can go to converttoraid.com and there's a banner right on the front page right there. We're going to start doing it this Sunday. There's no minimum eye level. You just have to be level 100 so you can get into the raid. But you have to be on Alliance and you have to be in CTR, so you have to be on Airy Peak as well. But we plan on bringing as many people through as we can. You don't have to have seen the fights before or anything like that. We just want to make sure that everybody gets a moose mount that wants one. So it should be pretty simple. Again, it's converttomythic.com/moose.
Can I come along?
No, there's a big sign that says no dogs.
Can I come along? I'm planning on it.
That's first dibs.
Yeah, I called dibs. I called dibs.
But we've got a bunch of people already set up to be helping. So, like I said, it's Convert to Mythic and Tainted Core, whatever's left of Tainted Core. I think they broke up last night.
Really?
Yeah, and a few other raid teams. There'll be a couple people from Alone.
Cool.
So yeah, it's kind of a big thing for Convert to Raid and Airy Peak as a whole. We want to make sure everybody gets it. So
yeah, I mean
and we'll bring as many people as possible.
That's kind of always been the thing with Convert to Raid and with Alone as well. That guild has been really great on the server. Really promoting raiding and really promoting community around it, and that's kind of our tack as well. So we're kind of continuing that, and you can go to converttoraid.com, click on the thing, sign up for the thing, and then we'll see you at the thing on Sunday.
Perfect.
Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. So
yeah, and we're not going to be able to get everybody in on the first run or anything like that. We're going to take people kind of as they sign up.
Right.
We're going to take as many people as possible.
And if sign
we're not sure how many we can carry now, so we're going to.
Well, we'll practice up a bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But the other cool thing too, though, is like just because due to the nature of how the instances is like you can skip ahead to the last boss, we can have it set up where we can just kill Archimonde. Yeah. Let's go kill him again and again and one more time maybe. And okay, now 40 people have their mount. Sweet.
Which is really awesome.
Guys.
Which is really awesome.
Yeah.
Because I have yet to do any heroic bosses, I think. So this will be interesting for me.
Aww.
Well, I was with Good of the Last Drop. I mean, for a while, so we did normals and stuff like that. And yeah, but I haven't done any heroics yet. So I'll be looking forward to it. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
It'll be something.
Yeah.
It'll be something.
It will definitely be a thing.
It will be a thing. Also, for 6.2.3, still talking about that too, we have the new Cataclysm Time Walking Dungeons. Very cool. The Infinite Time Reaver mount that is a rare drop, right?
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really cool. The color scheme looks very Overwatchy. I don't know. That's my impression of it. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's like the gold and the blue. I don't know, whatever. But it's just something I really want, and I'm going to run them as much until I can get it. So
right,
I kind of want it more than the moose mount.
You want it more than the moose mount?
I mean, I like them kind of equally.
It's a moose.
I know I'm going to get the moose mount though. I know I'm going to get that.
Yeah,
so
I suppose
this one I'm not. It's because it's random from every boss. I think that has a chance to drop it. So yeah. I mean, I may not ever get it. So,
but is it like a 1-2% drop, something like that? And
something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's super rare. So make sure to run those time walking dungeons, guys. They're going to be dropping some loots on you.
And they're the Kata dungeon. I mean, who didn't love Kata dungeons?
I actually did for the most part, except for Grim Batol. Grim Batol with randoms, with random folks was difficult at times. Sometimes it took like an hour and a half.
Was that the stone guy?
Got so good at those bombing runs. You just like clear all the trash and just like it's so awesome.
What was the one in Vashir? The Throne of Tides. Oh, I did not like that one. I don't know what it is.
Well, you have to go up the elevator and then down the elevator and then you go one way and then you go the other way.
Just the color too, like it was so blue. It was so blue.
It was underwater, Dairies. I'm not sure if you realize that.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Right. So when it's a water dungeon, it might be a little blue. Did you notice that Vashir was pretty blue as well? It was like you were floating, but you weren't. So I skipped it. You skipped it every time?
My character's allergic to water.
Yeah. All right. That's one way to go.
Lore.
There are also some new time-walking dungeons in there for the other places as well, so just go ahead and check that stuff out as it rolls through. Also, we have a new thing with Valor, right? So Valor is back. You can get Valor for upgrades, and these upgrades are going to be Tattva, lead me through this. What's going to happen with the upgrades?
So basically, you can upgrade your gear twice. Each time it costs 250 Valor, and then each upgrade increases the item level by 5. And so you can upgrade each piece by 10 item level. And that's so nice. Add it all up, you need 8,000 Valor to upgrade everything.
Wow. Do we know how much Valor we're getting from these different things? Because you can get it from LFR, you can get it from dungeons and so on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a ton of different ways you can get it. But I mean, people are going to be running all this stuff. I mean, as far as the mythic dungeons will be huge for farming Valor as well as farming for other stuff, which we'll talk about later. I guess I don't want to get ahead. Dairies.
But it's 300 for a mythic dungeon, 500 for a weekly, 100 for a heroic, and 150 for raid finder per wing.
Okay. Wow. So mythic is really the way to go. Mythic dungeons.
Yeah.
Definitely the way to go. So
but there's a cap. There's not a cap on how much you can earn per day, but there's a cap. Like the mythic is once per dungeon per week.
Yeah.
The heroic is first heroic of the day. LFR is per wing.
Right.
Things like that. So.
Right.
I think they added it up. If you did absolutely everything, you could earn 4,875 Valor a week, I think. And then so it would take 2 weeks to get all your upgrades if you did everything. So.
And you didn't get any other upgrades that you wanted to
assuming you didn't get any other loot.
Like a new drop,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool. And also, but we are also going to be getting bigger rewards from Tanan and from dungeon drops, and those baleful items as well. Those are all going to be kind of boosted as well along the way. There's going to be there's going to be a percentage chance for a higher item level drop, right, guys?
Yeah, and you can upgrade those ones too, I think, right, Tat? Yeah. I mean, it's not just raid gear that you can upgrade. You can upgrade crafted gear. You can upgrade the baleful gear, and also the new gear from the mythics that can be 725 item level. You can upgrade those as well with the Valor points. So
right, and those item levels they're gonna be a range, right? So it's not going to be only 725 that's going to drop. It's going to be 720. It's going to be 715, 710, and kind of down the line, I believe. And then there's a higher percentage for those lower item levels,
right,
as well. So I don't know. That's kind of cool. Do you like the way that they're doing that with the bigger rewards, guys? Is that something that you're interested in? Is that something that is gonna make you do more stuff? I don't know if that's necessarily gonna do it for me. Tattva, how about you?
Well, I mean, as far as just getting in there, and I mean, this patch is all about just prepping up for Legion, giving people some stuff to do to get ready for the leveling process and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, gear is going to be easier to get. They want people to see the content that they've provided, and I don't know, I think it's cool. So I mean, I'll be getting the Valor just to upgrade all my items and stuff like that. But as far as like getting upgrades from like mythics or something, I think most of my gear is better than that.
Well, but it is a great catch-up tool for alts and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, also with the Legion pre-order, people are getting their fresh hundreds now. I think, right?
Yeah. Okay. So did you guys pre-order already? Have you guys all pre-ordered?
Not yet.
Dairies, did you pre-order yet?
Pre-order
for Legion?
No.
Dairies gets WoW for free.
Oh, I see.
They give it to him.
I see how it goes. I got mine, and I was like, okay, what do I want to bring up to 100? And I went with a Warlock.
I like how they did choice. They've changed that. in Legion with your 100 boost, it won't take effect until you've done the intro quests for Legion, which means you can boost something, try it out for a couple hours, and then be like, oh, I don't want to use the boost on this class, and use it on something else.
Yeah, that was really smart.
That was really smart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that was really good.
I just went with Warlock. I haven't played since Wrath. And I'm like, it'd be fun to try it out. I had like a level 30 Warlock. I'm like,
that's about as far as I get. I've always wanted a Warlock, but I never get him past.
And I was gonna try to like boost. I was gonna try to like go all the way up to 60. And I started going through the quest lines, and I'm like going, I just don't have the time, man. Let's go. It's just sitting there. I just need to log out and then just press the button and just go. So
is it a gnome?
Of course it's a gnome.
Yes.
Of course it's a
gnome. I've never not had a gnome.
Gnome Warlock, man.
It has to be a gnome Warlock.
If you're playing Alliance, it's a gnome Warlock. If you're playing Horde, it's got to be either. Well, let's see. What was it? So I guess I had a Belf Warlock back in Wrath. So I don't know why.
I don't think I've ever heard that said out loud.
Just another pretty boy, just out there. Exactly. No, I lost my train of thought. Okay. Also happening for 623 is Arena Season 3, and that's gonna. Dairies, you always say that Arena runs long, right? How long does it? Do. How long does it run normally?
What is it? It's
how long does it go for?
18 weeks, something like that. No, more than that. I can't remember now.
Is it?
But it is. It's almost always. I think it's 20 weeks, somewhere in there.
20 weeks.
But they usually do it where when an arena season ends, the next one starts a couple weeks later while they figure out rewards and stuff. But this time they're doing it where the arena season ends and the next day the next one starts.
Wow, which
is a little different. Almost as if like they're trying to fit an arena season in before something.
Before what? Dun, dun. Before what, Dairies?
I could never postulate on something like that.
Oh, come on. You've never postulated? So if that's true, so Arena Season 3, if it's 20 weeks...
Putting us in April.
That does put us into April.
Beginning.
So, yeah. And then comes Arena Season 4. Right after that.
Right after. And patch 6.2.5.
5. Yeah.
And then Legion somewhere in the next 1 to 4 years.
Yes. So that's all that means for me whenever I see the new, since I don't PvP ever. The new arena season starting right away instead of taking a couple weeks like it normally does after the old season ends. It's just a timing thing for Legion or the pre-Legion event.
I know what they're trying to do. So they're trying to do the PvP stuff before Overwatch releases.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that's where they're going to go.
Yeah. Because they're like going, get your PvP on because soon you're going to go to Overwatch and you gotta be prepared.
Another thing with the new PvP season, the new gear comes out too. So that's another option. People still have this thing where PvP gear isn't good. I mean, it's less item level than it is when you're fighting in PvP combat, but it's still okay. If you use it in PvE, the scale, I don't remember what the scaled down item level is, but it's high enough that it's still worth doing if you enjoy doing PvP. So,
yeah. And PvP is cool. I mean, it's kind of one of those things, and I have a thing that I have to play now.
You're down with PvP.
I gotta play it.
You're down with PvP.
Yeah, you know me.
You're down with PvP.
Yeah, you know me.
Who's down with PvP?
You gotta be down with it, because, I mean, with raiding, I mean, if you really want to know your class, go PvP for a bit, and you will figure out new buttons that you don't necessarily hit when you're doing dungeons or when you're raiding.
Speaking of PvP,
I kind of enjoy it now especially now that I've been playing a lot more Overwatch and other esport type things. So yes, Dairies, go ahead.
So I saw Halinka,
at
the BlizzCons.
Yeah,
and,
great guy.
He wanted me to not tell anybody that he's never actually played WoW. So when it comes to PvP and balancing and things like that, he has no idea what he's doing. He just kind of throws numbers
randomly at a board, just throwing darts. Yeah.
Which explains a lot.
Kind of does.
But I still don't enjoy PvP. So.
Oh, come on. It's fun. I jump into random battlegrounds every once in a while, and I try to figure stuff out and just see how it's going, and usually get my butt handed to me, and I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Let's just make sure that I'm only doing randoms and not trying to do something more like arena or something like that, because I know I'm terrible at that. I don't know. Do either of you, Tattva, Tovo, do you guys PvP? Tattva, you were on a PvP server, right?
Oh, I love, I mean, it being like the 11th anniversary and all, like that was one of my favorite things. Like, it was so much fun. So me and my friend who started playing together, we're going through the leveling process, and then Stranglethorn Vale showed up.
Yeah.
You know, everyone knows that. Yeah. He was a druid. I was a rogue. Whoa.
Creepy.
That's weird. Anyways, and so we're two stealthies, and like it's that like level 20 to 30 kind of experience or whatever, and the game's super new, and we stayed at like level 20 to 30 for like ever, just the longest time, just running around killing people. Like, I love world PvP, it's a lot of fun, but as far as like arena and battlegrounds, like I really enjoy battlegrounds, but I mean, it's been a long time since I played them, and even arena really, but just
I tried arena for a while. Oof, that was
the raid bug.
Good. That was not
got the raid bug.
That was not good.
I think once Legion gets here, I don't know if we talked about it too much, but the changes that they're going to be making with the prestige system, which resets some of your talents. You're not going to have certain abilities when you prestige over and over again.
Yeah.
If you're really good. So that'll sort of level the playing field. And I think something about like sort of gear's not as big of an issue or something. There's not going to be PvP gear.
Right.
And everybody's going to be sort of scaled together. So the balance should be a little better. So the person who's PvPing all the time, the only thing that they have over you is that they're just way better than you, not just the numbers that they're doing. You know what I mean? It's not, they're not way better than you, and they're doing double your damage.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So,
well, I know one guy who is not going to ever decide to go for prestige. That's me.
This guy.
That's yeah. I am never going to go for prestige ever. I'm going to get all my talents and I'm going to go, good. Now I have
unless
tools.
You need it for the skin that they're going to give you.
I'm not going to do it for that. No.
Come on.
No way. No way.
Well, you can go with us. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
that's
a cool thing.
If it's with you guys, I guess, then that would be
yeah.
And that would be
I mean, like Tovo was saying, like there will be people that make that choice to not prestige and just stay at that max talent level or whatever. And like he said, it's going to level the playing field, because the hardcore PvPers are going to just prestige. They're just going to keep cycling through. And then so when they drop down to having no talent, no PvP talents at all, I mean,
that's when you get them.
That's when you get them. Yep.
Right. Let's move it along to now. This whole week, as we talked about on the last show, as we slurred about it on the last show, and again, if you heard the last show, my apologies. But all this week on the World of Warcraft site, they've been releasing the Legion class previews, and they've gone through. They did them all in very fast order, very quick order. And so they went through all the classes except for Demon Hunter and kind of gave, I don't know, what would you guys call? I mean, it's a preview, obviously, but would you call it like an overview description type of thing, or what? I mean, because they were kind of flowery in their language, and then they would kind of go into a little bit of depth, right?
The taste,
just like the fantasy taste. Yeah, the fantasy aspect of each spec. They were trying to,
and we talked about that on the last show. So, Tovo, what do you think about the fantasy aspect? Did they bring it for the different classes and for those different specs? I
mean, sure. They had a couple paragraphs for each. Hunters were first that they announced, so
which is awesome.
We're the best, yeah, obviously. But like, for example, whenever they talk about the marksman spec, they sort of combined the old survival. Some of the abilities of the old survival with the new marksman, and its style is like, if you think of Sylvanas, it's like very dark rangery, and so they took that aspect and they said there might be a way as a marksman, since you're petless, you're ranged and you're petless, that you'll summon like an undead minion or something that can tank for you if you want that to be a talent that you select. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to implement that, but it sounds pretty awesome. So you're very dark rangery using like arcane shots, instant arcane shots, to like regenerate your focus and stuff like that. So taking that as an example, I think they're really, the flavor of each spec, at least the ones that they've changed a lot, is really on point for me. I really liked it. So
yeah, it was kind of cool, and especially for hunters, it was neat because I play survival right now on my hunter, and it was kind of neat to see that because survival is going to be changing into that melee spec, that they're taking some of those things and moving them over into marksman, which is great because I've always thought that marksman was kind of boring.
Yeah, I agree with you. A lot of the specs right now are very similar in how they play. They have different abilities, obviously, and they work differently, but just pressing the buttons in your rotation feels very similar.
Right.
So, but yeah, the survival is awesome. I mean, I was really skeptical at first. I mean, I'm still skeptical just if I have to switch to melee. But just based on the tuning and what's best for your raid. But survival is going to be the only one. It's going to be in melee, obviously, and since we've known that for a while. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be the only one that uses traps, and it's going to utilize bleeds, and
Raptor Strike.
Pets, Raptor Strike, and you and your pets like attacking at the same time, like coordinating like an attack. Yeah. So it's very nature and survival-y.
Yep.
I don't know, but yeah, no, it's looking really fun. I'm gonna try it out for sure.
Yeah, that harpoon thing where you harpoon somebody and then you drag yourself to them.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
I just wish it would work on the environment. That sounds like that would be too difficult to implement. But if that could work on the environment, that'd be insane. I would love that so much.
That'd be awesome. Awesome. Dairies, let's talk about priests for a little bit.
Oh man.
So from what you saw with priests, did they break disc effectively?
I think so. I mean, not just disc, but holy and shadow too.
But you were, but we've all kind of talked about disc healing and stuff like that, and even you playing a priest have said, "Come on, break us already."
Yeah.
Right. So you think it did it?
I think this is good. I think this is.
Run us through some of the changes, especially for disc that are coming that are breaking it. So
what's going to happen is you're now doing the majority of your healing is done through atonement. You're going to be putting atonement. Basically, atonement is going to be a buff or debuff on a player, and you put that with spells like Plea, which is a new spell, Power Word Shield, Shadow Mend, which is a new spell, and it's going to last for 15 seconds on that target. And when it's on them, all the damage you're doing through Smite and Holy Fire and Penance and those kind of things is going to be healing that person. So it's no longer just, oh, here's a smart heal when you do damage. It's much more targeted, which I think is a much better way to do it. But it also means you're going to be balancing this atonement on different people, kind of like maybe a like a beacon of light for a paladin or something like that. You're going to be applying it on different people and making sure it's up on the right people all the time, and those kind of things. You're going to not really have a whole lot of direct healing. Okay. You're going to have a little bit, but not a ton. Like they don't want Disc Priests to be direct healers anymore. They want them to do this kind of do damage to do healing kind of thing. Which I think is a better way to do it. It differentiates them that much more from other classes, and it also means there's less focus on absorptions. On Power Word Shield is not going to be as strong, but it's still going to play an important role in being able to apply atonement and things like that.
Well, and wasn't so there's going to be as far as Power Word Shield goes, that's going to be on a cooldown, right? So I mean, you're not going to be able to pop it all the time, and so it's going to be more of like something that you might put on a tank, say, or something along those lines, which is good. Yep. Which is good because coming from a Resto Druid standpoint, you guys had it way too good for way too long.
Yeah, and they're getting a new spell to kind of help with that. It's called Shadow Mend.
Yeah,
and it's a big heal. In fact, they were saying that if it crits. Or if you get your mastery, things like that up high enough. Actually, I don't think mastery affects atonement anymore. Or healing anymore. It's just atonement. But if you get your crit high enough, it's a full heal, like a lay on hands kind of thing. The problem is the person you healed will take damage every second until they've taken half the amount they've been healed in heals from other sources, which means playing with a Resto Druid is going to be really important because you're going to want to Shadow Mend this person and then have your Resto Druid hot them to negate the damage that the spell is then doing back to them. I think that's a really cool synergy.
Which is really, really cool for Resto Druids, because if you have read the post on Resto Druids, one of the things is that they're changing mastery to be essentially like the more hots you put out there, the better the stronger that they will get, right? And so one of the concerns that I have is that overheal much. If you already are overhealing, you're just going to overheal more. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's hope they get the absorption thing down first. And if they have that down, then it kind of makes sense. And with something like that, it kind of makes sense a little bit more, at least in a rated environment. So that's cool.
I think that's pretty cool. We haven't really seen a healing spell that does damage like this before. And being that it's going to be one of the only ways to heal, actually directly heal as a Disc Priest, I think it's going to be used quite a bit.
Sure. And everything else is looking cool too. Holy and Shadow are both looking great.
Holy got an overhaul. They've taken out the stances and those kind of the chakras.
Yeah. The chakras are gone.
Yeah, so Derevka's coming back.
Derevka's coming back. That's so
they're going to be, more of that kind of healer in kind of the much more direct way, and that Disc Priest won't be anymore. And then Shadow got a total overhaul, which looks really, really fun.
They look crazy.
I think that's the point. They are straight up cray-cray.
Straight up cray-cray.
Yeah. And the biggest change I think is awesome with Shadow Priest is they're actually making Vampiric Touch vampiric, and that it will heal the Shadow Priest when it does damage.
Oh, nice.
It's actually like the spell that is living up to its name.
That's
finally
the way it should be, right? That's nice.
So I think that's awesome. I mean, the whole Shadow Priest thing is awesome. I can't wait to see a good Shadow Priest playing it.
Right.
And then watch as Hansi tries to play it.
Oh boy, Hansi.
Oh no,
I miss him. I miss Hansi and Zoe and all the guys at the house and you guys. I get to talk to you though, so it's fine. Tattva, let's talk Druid, man. So you're basically what, Feral Plus, right? I mean, that's kind of what
Feral
you play.
Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bear for probably about 9 out of the 11 years of WoW. So, I mean, like way back in the day when they were not
back
good,
in the day,
I guess. But I was stubborn. And yeah, I'm a bear. I can tank. Watch this.
And now the bear tanks are actually going to like stand and fight instead of be the dancing circus bear.
Dancing circus bear.
So that's good. No more dodge. It's just stay and fight.
We talked about a last episode at the house.
Yeah,
we did talk about some WoW stuff. I think.
It's kind of there. I'm still trying to piece it all together, right?
But yeah, I mean, like last week I said the same thing, but probably my favorite thing about the announcements from BlizzCon was bringing the class fantasy back. Just like really honing in on this. Like I loved all these little class previews. I mean, it really didn't give us much information. It gave us like a taste or just flavor or whatever of each and class and spec and stuff. But I mean, they're going the right direction. The class halls, all these little, flowery words. It's just fun. It's awesome. It's bringing fun back to the game. And
the big
shut it, Dairies.
The big thing for me with Druids is the affinity thing. Can you talk about that for a little bit? Because that's really, really cool. And if you're playing a Druid, or if you are thinking about playing a Druid for Legion, this is really, really cool. Go ahead.
Yeah, as far as like the affinity goes, Feral hasn't changed that much. Just its base thing. Talents are going to change it a lot, but the affinity, it's bringing shape shifting back. Like it's huge. It's super awesome, and I'm super excited about it. Basically, what it allows you to do is it's going to be one of your talent choices. So I'm personally Feral, and so I'll choose an affinity whether it's Resto, Moonkin, or Guardian. And so I hope it's as robust as it sounds, but basically you can act in that secondary role when you shapeshift. I mean, druids are shapeshifters.
Right.
Like bringing the class fantasy back, like that's what we are, but that's not what we've been lately. And so let's say I'm a feral druid, which I am. We are awesome at single target DPS, but we suck horribly at AoE. Horribly.
Right.
And so I could choose the Moonkin affinity, but a huge group of ads show up, switch into Boomkin form, AoE them, go back to cat,
Yeah.
And then besides having access to all those abilities of that secondary affinity, you actually get like a passive bonus as well. Like if I'm feral and I choose Moonkin, it increases my auto attack by 5 yards. Right. Or if I choose the Guardian affinity, it just reduces my damage by 10%.
So
all the time.
So did it sound to you like
damage taken? Sorry.
Right. So did it sound to you like if we were in one of the specs, it doesn't matter which one, and we switched to the other one, we could just stay that way and be cool for a while?
Forever. I mean, that's what I mean by I hope it's as robust as it sounds. Like,
right.
I would like it to, like, we could literally perform, like, if I chose Restoration as my secondary spec or my affinity.
Yeah.
Like, in my mind, I should be able to go Resto at a crazy part of the fight, and if we needed an extra healer for just a certain area, I could fill that role, and then I could go back to damage. Like, we wouldn't need to
I'm really
more healers than we needed something.
From a Resto Druid standpoint, I'm like going, well, hey man, I'd rather go feral for my affinity and level up that way. That way I'm leveling up as Resto and but being in cat form for most of the time and dealing pretty good damage. I'm not saying it's going to be awesome damage because my gear is going to be totally weird. But, it'll be pretty good damage. It'll be damage that'll at least lead me through the leveling process. And then I'll be able to, keep the same weapon. I'll be able to, get whatever I need to for the artifact so that I'm ready to go for raiding once that comes around. And if that's the case, I am super excited for it.
But I mean, that's the other, you brought up another interesting thing is like the system for gear swapping. Already exists. So, that's like, I hope that's what it is. Like, you full on, so I switched to Resto, all my gear's int now. Like, right. I'm ready to rock.
I mean, you just don't have the trinkets or whatever, but that's okay. You can, hobble along. That's fine.
Yeah. It's just, you'll definitely, like, the trinkets, ring, neck, all that kind of stuff. It hasn't changed yet, and I don't think it will.
No.
But, so your primary spec or your primary affinity will be your affinity of choice, obviously, but it's exciting to hopefully, like, just this another like skill cap to set apart. You can be a better druid than someone else. Like, say you are Resto and you're owning it, but you're weaving in this Moonkin swap into your rotation and doing crazy damage too, and then but you're still maintaining your heals, like all your hots everywhere. It has potential to be super awesome.
Everybody is going to want to play druid. That's it. It's going to be all druids all the time from now on.
And we finally get new forms.
Oh, and new forms. That new cat form looks awesome. And the new Boomkin form. New HD form for that. That looks pretty good. And apparently it's really expressive. We'll hopefully we'll see what's going on with that in the beta in the next HD. I don't know. People are saying it's going to be soon for the beta. So soon, no TM. Meaning next few weeks,
next Tuesday, Monday.
Yes, it'll be on Friday this week.
Right.
Thursday this week. I don't know.
Saturday morning.
It'll be Saturday morning, like 10 a.m. They'll just surprise people with it.
You guys are making me want to use my 100 boost on a druid now. It sounds amazing.
Oh yeah, you're gonna want to do
really
it because druids are the best class ever. Hunters are really great. Don't get me wrong, priests, but hunters and druids are great, and warlocks apparently.
I have to bring up the warlock. You brought it up earlier.
Yeah.
The gnome warlock, but that demonology artifact weapon.
Oh,
is that the skull?
It's the floating skull.
Oh, I love that.
So
it's
awesome.
Zarum.
So awesome. Yeah.
How cool is that?
Skull.
Oh, those artifacts.
Oh, and the other thing that they mentioned about the artifact weapons is like your primary abilities will interact with weapons now. Like if you're like a fire mage and you have that one sword thing and stuff, it's just not going to sit on your belt the whole time. Like you will whip it out. Oh, never mind.
Wow.
Never mind.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
We're not at Blizzcon anymore.
This is not last week's show. Please tread carefully.
Anyways, but yeah, and so like these spells will interact, and I'm so excited to see like how the Demonology Warlock spells interact with that floating skull. It's going to be super awesome, I imagine. Blizzard's always really good with their particle details and stuff.
I am so looking forward to this to Legion and kind of, seeing people get into the beta and really kind of tear it up and figure out what's going on, because I mean, this druid stuff has really gotten me excited. The survival hunter stuff is really exciting as well. Marks is actually really kind of intriguing for me as well because of all the changes going on and stuff like that. So I'm looking for, and with this priest being broken, that's another good thing. So I'm really happy with all this stuff that's kind of coming through. So I don't know how I was talking to people on Twitter this week, and they were like going, "Oh yeah, this like all these different changes are looking so good." Rogues were really happy. I know that there got a lot of feedback from all different classes, and I think for the most part, people were okay. Some people didn't agree with the fantasy, like that. The fantasy they had built up for their character wasn't the same as what Blizzard has just said, and so they were like, "Oh,
that's inevitable, though. You
can't please everybody.
Yeah,
but you can please gnomes, though. They announced that gnome hunters are going to be a thing for Legion. So for all those gnomes out there, I don't have gnome applause. So I'll just do the regular applause. But,
so we're going to have gnome hunters riding eagles all around Azeroth. That's very Lord of the Rings. Like, you have to name your gnome hunter Frodo or Bilbo or something.
Right.
I mean, that's just, you have to.
I think so.
Oh, I'm going to change to gnome too. I don't want to do it, but I love having the small character profile for like seeing stuff on the ground.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. But like, I'm really excited that they finally, because it's hunters and warriors, right? That can be any race. Is that true? Something like that.
That may be true.
But yeah, no, I'm so excited about this. We can finally be tiny, like on the Horde.
Well, and I know that gnomes erupted on Twitter as well this week, and they were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this! This is so amazing!" So
for tiny people, they're very well organized.
They are. They are. They use the powers of science or technology or something. I have no idea.
And I saw it on Twitter. Someone was joking. I don't know if it was Asmongold or who it was, but they asked if gnome hunters can tame critters as their pets. That would be fantastic.
That'd be so awesome.
That'd be so great.
It's got a brown squirrel.
Yeah.
Great. Perfect. That would make me want to do pet collecting.
Yeah,
like you could do battle pets, or you could have them for like for your gnome hunter. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. All right, we've got a bunch of questions this week, and we should probably get to those right now.
We've got mail.
We do. And if you have a question about anything for us about raiding, about WoW, about any of the other games on the Battlenet, just let us know. We'll try to answer it on the show. You can email us at convertraid@gmail.com, or you can call our raid line 612-787-RAID. And first up, Dairies,
No.
What? Can you read this question from Troop Smash?
This is from Troop Smash. He says, "Where do you feel raiding is going to go from here? WoD was good, but others don't feel the same. Thoughts?"
All right. So Tovo, where do you think raiding is going from here?
So he said WoD was good, and he's worried about the future of raiding. They said that they're pretty happy with the way that they structured the raids in WoD. Obviously, tacking on another year to the last raid is not something that they probably want to do.
No.
But in terms of like the mechanics, like they removed a lot of them from the normal difficulty. That seems like something that probably is going to continue. I mean, I don't think it was just the end of the expansion thing. It seems like they want to take a little bit of the personal responsibility out of the normal side so you can sort of ease your way into it better. Because there was a hard jump from like LFR, say, to normal.
Yeah. I think that was one of the complaints with the normal stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if we're using history as any indicator, the raids are going to be great. So I have nothing but optimism for that. So it's just the other aspects of the game, the open world stuff, things to do that you can do outside of raiding. That's the stuff that I'm worried about. I'm not necessarily worried about the raiding. I'm really optimistic about it. So,
right. Tattva, are you worried about the raiding at all?
Nope.
No.
Moving
on. All right.
I mean, that's the thing with that's what I love about this game. I love raiding. That's why we started making strat videos about raiding. That's it's what I've been doing since I started playing almost. I've gone through basically everything. And I mean, that's the thing is it's just Blizzard seems to do a really good job of keeping current and making fights interesting. Like I enjoyed all 3 tiers this time. I mean, of course, there's easier bosses and stuff and some that are kind of meh. But I mean, overall, like tier 18 now? Like that's insane to keep a game fresh and like exciting and interesting to play, new fights to learn, new mechanics, all that stuff. And so, I mean, they're not going to drop the ball after 18 tiers. Like, I've enjoyed every one of them for the most part.
And I think that for difficulty, Tovo, you kind of nailed it from my perspective as well. As long as they keep that, as long as they make normal, heroic, and mythic all kind of different, like little things. It's just like little personal responsibility things all along the way. Just kind of keep on growing, keep on doing these things. I think that will keep most folks pretty satisfied. And I think they really did a great job, Dairies, and I think you'll agree, they did a great job with difficulty kind of all around, right?
Yeah, I agree.
That's a lovely statement.
Yeah. I think he's playing Battlefront right now.
I have potential to be very disappointed in WoW and Blizzard. There's a huge potential. If there's not a Murloc boss,
here comes the
Emerald Knight. No, I'm serious. I'm so serious.
You want a Murloc boss?
Well, Wailing Caverns, that was our first contact with the Emerald Nightmare. It was.
Okay.
We go in there, the corruption seeping through Wailing Caverns. We get to that last boss. He's on his table, like laying there dreaming. And we're like, oh, he got to wake up. And his final nightmare was this Murloc, this nasty, gnarly Murloc comes storming out of the water, and you beat him, and then you save him from the Emerald Nightmare.
What if he was like a mini boss? Because I mean, it's a Murloc. It's not
no, it needs to be this giant Murloc, hordes of baby Murloc minions,
20 feet tall.
Oh yeah. Oh no, serious business. It's going to be a serious race.
You're a dork.
Serious business.
You have some weird dreams.
I seriously will be disappointed if there's not a Murloc boss. I'm not kidding. I'm like going to cry if there's not a Murloc boss.
Oh, man.
I've seen him cry too. It's not, we don't want that.
He cried at least 3 times at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
So. We don't want that at all.
Yeah, I cry all the time.
All right. Let's see. I think I'm going to skip the rest of the questions because I know that I just, with my computer being broken this time around, I'm just like, let's get the heck out of here. But I do want to cover some of the Battlenet news that's going on. When we can, we'll take a look at the big headlines from around the rest of the Blizzard universe, and there were quite a few this week, as we know from BlizzCon as well. We have StarCraft II Legacy of the Void, which is out now this week, and Tattva, you were playing some of that, correct?
Yeah, until I got deep enough and then started crying and I couldn't proceed anymore. It was devastating. So play it. It's awesome. I love the story of StarCraft. Like, the campaigns are awesome.
Yeah.
And like, the best thing about Blizzard, basically all across Blizzard games, is their cinematic team is unreal. Like, they make some awesome cinematics.
Those guys are great.
And there's not a game that utilizes that form of storytelling more than StarCraft. And with this one, it's no different. It's almost like every single every single mission, there's a cinematic at the end and then another one.
Yeah.
Like, not complaining at all. They're so
well,
beautiful.
and I don't know if you guys know this or not. I didn't put it in the notes. I totally spaced it. But Blizzard is actually, Activision Blizzard is starting a new division where they are going to be doing TVs and movies. They're going the Marvel route, guys. I mean, this is big time, kind of. And they're going to start with a TV show. I think they're doing Skylanders TV stuff, but they're creating their own studio. They're doing all this stuff in house. They're putting out all these comics, and they're doing that all independently as well. They're building their empire. They're building this media empire based off of their games and kind of exploring those universes. And this is going to be cool, guys. This is going to be so cool.
It's going to be amazing.
In like 5-10 years, we're going to see this interweaving of like what Marvel does. I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking, right? So we're going to see movies and TV all interacting with each other in a weird way, and the universe is huge and all that kind of stuff. Oh man, it's going to be good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's how they said they wanted to tell the story of Overwatch too, wasn't it? With the shorts and maybe like a series of some kind. Or something with
they're doing comics, and then they're doing a series of short videos and stuff like that as well. So, it's going to be cool though. I always love this stuff. So,
they're amazing storytellers.
Oh yeah.
Amazing storytellers.
Oh, yes, they are. Let's see. Diablo 2.4 is in the PTR. Is that right, Tovo?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's live right now on the PTR.
Oh, it's live. On the PTR.
On the PTR.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, did something happen?
I haven't been keeping up with a lot of the Diablo stuff just because there's been so much BlizzCon happen, Blizzard news, Overwatch.
Yeah.
But there's some new zones. They're adding a couple of new ways to increase the chances of upgrading gems with your doing the dungeons by paying gold. So basically just to get as much gold out of the system as they can, because it's just basically worthless now because you can get as many billions as you need. And they're tweaking new sets and adding and changing new skills around and stuff, but I'll delve into it more in the coming week or two. So
cool. And I know that Overwatch, we have 3 new heroes, bringing the total to 21. And we have Diva, Genji, and Mei. And those guys are all kind of cool. I was playing around with them on the beta.
Did you play all of them?
Yeah.
Did you try them all? Okay.
Yeah. Diva's really cool. Kind of like a weak tank, though. But she survives it because her exoskeleton thing will blow up, and then you can go around as a human and shoot things. So,
yeah, Diva's very kamikaze.
Yeah,
you gotta get in close to do any damage. Then when you get in close, you die. But you can explode your armor that you're riding in,
which is
after you jump out of it. So yeah, you're very kamikaze.
Genji's tough because he's more melee, so it's kind of weird.
It's funny because they talked about at the Overwatch panel that they talked about the lore and the different characters.
Yeah,
Genji and Hanzo were the same character at one point,
right.
And then they decided to split them up, and then now they're brothers in the game. So,
kind of like Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Same old story. Two
they
brothers.
originally started with him with his sword all the time.
Yeah.
And they found it was really strange to balance. Either it was way too strong, or he would just get killed right away and not do anything. So that's his ultimate ability. He throws ninja stars as his main ability, and then his ultimate is he pulls out his sword and he
has
does
that
a ton
block.
of damage.
Oh, he has that block.
Yeah. Oh, his deflect.
Yeah.
You can see some really insane deflects if you're sniping or something, and you shoot right away, and I'm gonna get a headshot, and then ting, you're dead. And the Genji just deflected your shot right back at your face. So there's a lot of skill involved with that.
Absolutely.
And then May's great. Everybody's talking about she may be too powerful. I don't know. But she has a freeze gun that will slowly freeze you as she's hitting you.
Yep.
And then her right click also is a what does Dairies do?
It's a dart.
It's a dart.
Yeah, it's a dart. Frozen dart.
He's calling his cat.
Dairies
you should talk about May, because I think you've played May more than I have.
Yeah, I love May. I mean, she's a ton of fun. She's a very offensive, defensive kind of character. Like, you have to be very on defense with her to kind of freeze people. and
get in their face.
Yeah, you got to get up on them and annoy them and cause them to get frozen, and then your teammates come in and finish them off. Like, you're not supposed to be doing a lot of damage, but man, she's so much fun with her ice wall and time that just right, and you can prevent an entire push by the other team. It's one of my favorite things to do is right at the end when there's like 2 seconds left in the game, and it happens every time. The other team they'll wait for all their alts, and they're all charging at the same time, and you just pop that right as they're running in, and they all just stand there.
Right, right.
And it's very much I guess a troll class, you could say. And she's so.
Oh yeah, no, she's meant to annoy. I mean, in kind
Dairies
of the same way.
Annoys his own team.
I love doing that.
He's always done that. So I mean, that's not like a new thing. But it's kind of like Tracer in a lot of ways. I mean, it's just kind of like this thing that's just always pestering you, and it's just, just kill her already. Let's go. But yeah, definitely a lot of fun with the new heroes. They're great. And we have a couple of other new things to talk about as well. Hearthstone has the new Adventure League of Explorers, and that released this week and is pretty fun. I mean, I went through the first round of bosses, and it was pretty easy. It was pretty easy, but it was also very fun. So good on you, Blizz. And they're trying to do some new gameplay stuff, which is cool. That's always nice. And then we also have Cho'Gall, which has entered the Nexus. It's live right now, right?
Yeah.
Cho and Gall are both live.
The Cho'Gall virus is spreading.
Yes. Have you guys played Cho'Gall at all? I didn't get to on the show floor, and I haven't been able to get into Heroes yet this week. So
not yet, but just the fact that he's a thing, it makes me want to get in there and play.
And it's so cool. I mean, it's so cool that you have two heads, and they both have their own abilities, and they have their own talents, and they have their own ultimates, and they have kind of their own separate thing. The only thing that ties them together are their feet. So
there's another. Well, yeah, I mean their feet are tied together, obviously, but one of the abilities, the guy steering. Orb. The guy steering, Cho, he'll toss out that bomb, and the other guy has to detonate it. If the other guy doesn't detonate it, it just doesn't do anything,
right,
at all.
Right.
So
that's
another way that they do it.
Yeah, I mean, so they work well together, but they also work separately. So it's kind of a cool hero, and kind of digging it. So there. Anything else, guys? Did we miss anything? I mean, obviously, there's a lot more stuff out there this week, but is there anything else that you guys want to talk about this week with any of the games?
I didn't mention, whenever we were talking about hunters, I didn't talk about the Beastmaster at all because it's not changing too much. There's a couple things, though.
More beasts.
More beasts, yeah. Also, you're going to be regenning focus, if anyone's ever played a hunter, during your times where you're waiting for cooldowns to come up or whatever. You're regenning your focus by spamming either Cobra Shot or Steady Shot. Yep. So what happens now for Beastmaster is they regen their focus passively, and then the more beasts you have out or something like that, you regen it faster. So there's going to be spots in between your rotation where you're not spamming a regen key because you don't have one, and they said they want to focus more on players controlling their beasts more.
Which is
so
cool.
I don't know how that's going to work exactly. That's going to be like you're going to place them in different spots. If you're literally going to control their abilities, I'm not exactly sure, but it should be interesting. It goes with the whole flavor and fantasy of the spec, though, and it seems like it's going to be really neat. So, because there's lots of people that they're Beastmaster for life because they love their pets and everything. So.
Yeah, and again, I think that with all of this stuff, you have to take it with a grain of salt because this is kind of their initial ideas, right? This is how they're approaching the beta, how they're getting into all these different class changes and stuff like that. So that they have these kind of ideas that they want to try out on the beta and go through the development process with these things. Obviously, things may change as we go down the line, but it should be pretty cool. And I'm really interested to see how all these different specs play because we have no idea how it's actually going to play out. We just have like, okay, now Shadow Priests have insanity. They're crazy. Okay, cool.
Yeah, like that's the cool thing is just everyone's so like, oh, I mean, some people are getting up in arms about how their spec turned it, what those few abilities are that they've released so far. But I mean, the thing is that they've added literally hundreds of new talents. So we have no idea really. Like they've given us a taste of how this is going to be, or how the game is going to play, or how your spec is going to play. But we literally,
without talents, without those talents, we just have no clue.
Yeah, the talents. We need to see the talents, and like we said, we're going to see it soon, hopefully with the beta. But also, that's what everybody's going to be doing now. They're a lot of people I've talked to aren't sure what they want to play because of how different all the specs that they changed drastically are now. Mm-hmm. So there's never really been a better time to level your alts. Get the 100 boosts from Legion, level your alts with the 11th anniversary bonus that they got now. So that way you can have if you see something on the beta you really like, or a playstyle that fits you better than what they've changed with the one you're using now. That way you'll have access to it, whenever the expansion finally comes out.
Gotcha. Yep. All right, well let's get the heck out of here. And so I'm gonna play. Let's see. I'm gonna play this music. I'm just gonna jump right to it. Screw it. And before we go though, does anybody have a shout out, Tattva? Does anybody have a shout out? Wrote it in the notes. Pick me. Come on, guys.
No, BlizzCon, it was my first one. It was an amazing experience, but just meeting everyone was so awesome. All the CTR people, the well-played party.
Oh, that was great.
Everyone that was involved with that put that together, kudos. It was so much fun. I had a blast, so please do it again. Thank you.
It was so much fun, and I know that well-played party may go outside of BlizzCon as well to the Warcraft movie. So we'll see what's going on there. I know that we're maybe going to Madison, Wisconsin for that. Maybe we'll see.
Salt Lake City?
I don't think so. But
kidding.
Actually, Scott Johnson, I think, is. So you can talk to Scott Johnson and see. I think he is doing a movie thing in Salt Lake.
Yeah, he is.
So you got that going. And I think that everybody at BlizzCon is so great to meet everybody. Whether I was, Saturday night, I met a lot of people. Don't really remember it, but all the rest of the time, I really remember meeting everybody. And so, thank you guys so much for joining us wherever we were, and it was awesome. It's always so positive, right?
So amazing.
BlizzCon is just fun. So much love and so much just joy of all these different games. And Dairies' cat is just amazed about all the love that was being spread over at BlizzCon. It was great. I think that's a great shout out. Just everybody, we love you. Thank you. We cannot do this show without you guys. Actually, thank you for taking the time to do things like talk to us via email or via Twitter, or rate us on iTunes, or where else are we? Stitcher, that's a place. And all those different things. Please feel free to join in on the conversation we're having at any time, and you can do that really, really easy. You can email us at converttorate@gmail.com. You can call us and leave comments and questions on our raid line, 612-787-RAID. That's 612-787-7243. You can follow us on Twitter at ConvertToRaid, or individually. Isn't that right, Dairies?
Yeah, Pat Crane is at Pat Crane with a K.
Uh-huh.
Me, I'm Dairies. I'm at Boardmind.
Yeah.
Tattva is at LOS_gaming, and Tovo doesn't know how to use the internet.
They're both.
How did I get here?
They're both at LOS_gaming. That's how you reach the LOS guys. That's it.
They're at
any big topics coming up for in the near future, guys?
If anybody has any ideas, just let us know. This current patch one was from someone asking us to do it. We didn't. And you did a good job on it too. But yeah. So
when are you gonna start doing the Spanish?
You know what I really liked? I liked how you guys are clearly not in the same room, which is great. I know that you're across the country from each other, but it was great because you're both standing on the screen. You're kind of like pillars on either side of the screen, and as one of you talks, the other one looks over and then nods and goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And it's like that's so cool. From a TV guy, from an editor, it just makes me laugh. I love it.
We try to record them at the same time with both of us on the screen, so it feels more natural.
Sure.
I'm hearing him say it, so
sure. Okay,
I know
gotcha.
exactly what's happening. So,
gotcha. I just love it, though. I really do. And you guys out there, you can join the Bazoo Baguabo Nation by heading over to converttoraid.com, where we have show downloads, forums, videos, audios, tons of links for raiders. We have that Moose Mount sign up over there as well, and so much more. It's all over at converttoraid.com. For the live shows, you can go to converttoraid.com/live, and we're also live streaming most of the time on alphageekradio.com. Not tonight, because computers are weird. Computers are weird. That's it. The Convert to Raid podcast is produced and distributed by Signals Media. Make sure to check out all of our friends on the Signals Media All-Star Network at signalsmedia.com. Oh my gosh. Diablo. Wow. All right, that's going to be it for the show. Thank you, guys. LOS guys, Dairies, thank you. Thank you, chat room, as always, for making this an interesting night. Oh, wow. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.